Welcome back to Nrollio Update. In today's tutorial, we are going to discuss how to move applications between the different statuses in Nrollio and how to move them onto the different lists in Nrollio. In Nrollio, we have 7 different statuses that a application moves from start to finish. Those statuses include lead, contacted, applied, offered, waitlist, confirmed, and enrolled. We also have a few different lists that contain those statuses. We have the denied list, the selected list, the waiting list, and the declined list. Now, in Nrollio, you are able to move an application between the lists on your own manually. Today, I'm going to show you how to do that. So when you log on into an Nrollio, you get your applications dashboard here. Here in this demo account, we have a variety of different applications, some of which have been completed and others have not. You can tell which ones have been completed based on their status. If you see a lead status, this is the first status in the enrollment process. This means that they completed the first contact information form, but for one reason or another, they were not sent that first email, that tells them what to do next in the application process, and usually that email contains the application or a button to the application itself. The contacted status is the second step. That means that they have been contacted. That email was sent to that person that contains the application. This person, however, has not completed the application. The applied status is where you will have students who have actually completed the application for your school. Now, after they've been applied and you want to move them to the selected list and offer them a seat at your school, you can do that right within Nrollio manually. To do this, you need to check the box next to the name over here to the left. And once you do that, you see action items populate right here to the top. When you click, you have action items right here. The 2 action items that populate to the top are move to waiting list or move to the selected list. Now, these 2 lists are different because the waiting list is obviously where the waitlist status will be. All the students who are put on the waiting list are obviously did not get a seat at your school for the next year, and they're temporarily placed on the waiting list. The selected list is where all the other statuses will be held. So this is where your statuses of offered, confirmed, and enrolled will be. This is on your selected list. For an example, this student I want to move to the selected list. I would like to offer them a seat to next year. I check the box to the left, and then I push the selected list. Nrollio will always prompt you to make sure and confirm the move you are about to make. So, move to offered. Yep, I want to move this person to the next status in the enrollment process, which after application is offered. Again, only if you're offering them a seat. I have the confirmation pop up right here that the status has been updated and that student has been taken off the applications dashboard. Now, if you navigate to your selected list, the student has been moved here. If you want to move students to the wait list, you do the same thing except you move them to this wait list. This student, I want to move to the wait list. So I check the box to the left and move to the wait list. Again, you will be prompted to confirm that the move you're about to make is correct. I have the green confirmation pop up, and if I go over to my waiting list, I see that the student has been moved here. Because it was the most recent application filled out, that student is on the bottom right here. Now, if we go to the selected list, we have a variety of different statuses here, like I mentioned before. We have offered, confirmed, and enrolled. To move students around within this list, you do a couple of different steps. If you notice, if you scroll all the way over, there are action items right here. The action items you have when the status has been offered is you can move them to confirmed. That's the next step in the enrollment process. That's the next status that a student can have. You can move them to the waiting list. If for some reason they haven't responded to your offer and you want to move them to the waiting list and offer that seat to someone else, that's how you do that one. And then you can move them to the decline list. If for any reason the student decides not to attend your school next year, this is where you'd move them to the decline list. If they have the status of confirmed, the action items are to move to enrolled. That is the final status within Nrollio. Your student has been confirmed for next year. They have completed all their registration and enrollment paperwork and are now being completely moved to the enrolled status within Nrollio. You can also move them to decline. In some cases, people who have confirmed their spot for next year, who have accepted your offer to attend the school next year, have changed their mind last minute and need to decline the offer. This is where you would move them. And when they have the enrolled status, the only action item is to move them to declined, which in rare cases, if they're completely enrolled for some reason, they need to decline their offer and not attend your school next year, that's how you would move them. So to do this, if you want to move this student, this one at the top, the offered, if you want to move them to the confirmed list, all you do is click this button and the student will be moved to confirmed. The status has been updated and my status automatically changed right here from offered to confirmed. Now, if I want to move to enrolled, you can move them right here. This student, I would like to move from offered to the waiting list. So to do that, I scroll over and move to the waiting list. Again, you will always be prompted to make sure and confirm the move you're about to make. That student was taken off and is now moved to the waiting list. If I want to move this student to the decline list, I click declined and move them to the decline list. There you have it. It's that easy to move students around when they are on the selected list. Now, let's go to the waiting list and move students around. Here's our waiting list. Within the waiting list, you have the option to move the student to offered or to transfer the spot. Now, if you transfer the spot, it's going to take someone off of the offered list and move them to the waiting list, and then that person is taking the spot of this person. Since you don't want to do this, usually because the grades are a mix of grades within the waiting list and you have a specific number of spots within that grade you are trying to fulfill, if you transfer the spot, it's not going to be dependent on the grade. It's going to choose someone who's been on the selected list the longest to transfer the spot. So to just manually move them, you just go here and click Move to Offered. And you are prompted to confirm the move. And there you go. That student has now been moved to the selected list with the offered status. So there you have it. That is how you move students around within Nrollio within the different statuses and onto the different lists. As always, if you have any additional questions, please don't hesitate to contact a Charter Connect team member. See you next time.